We are so back. Happy birthday! Let's get it. My first 24-hour in-house call. It's never happened before. Should be interesting. It's a lot less cool when you actually have to do it. We're doing anesthesiology. Holy moly. This is the position I wanted to be in, so I'm freaking doing it, baby. Welcome back, vlog, to another week of radiology. Oh my god. It's anesthesiology. We're doing anesthesiology. Holy moly. Let's get it, baby. Good morning, Chewy. Good morning, Chippy. Good morning, Winry. I know ya. Fit check of the day. Let's go to work. Bye, puppies. All right, guys, we are so back. It's another week, and this week is pretty scary because it's my last few days of one-to-one with an attending. Then, starting on Saturday, we actually joined the call pool for the anesthesia residents. In fact, my first 24-hour in-house call is on Saturday, which is absolutely insane. I'll tell you guys more about it later in the week, but for now, I need to set up the OR. We've got some lab colis this morning, so nothing too crazy. Let's get it, baby. All right, we are set up for the morning. The first case is going. My attending told me to take a breakfast break, and the number one rule in anesthesia is you don't say no to a break and you don't say no to getting relieved early. I also always go in the courtyard on my breaks and get some fresh air because I just generally don't enjoy sitting inside all day, which is not very congruent with the specialty that I've chosen. Oh well, it's too late now. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy this burrito and I'll catch you guys later. All right, I'm done for the morning, just grabbing some stuff from the resident lounge. Now we have didactics, which we have every Monday, and I think today's topics are trauma. We're doing some regional anesthesia lectures, and then I think our last one is a physiology lecture. My cases this morning went super smooth, can't complain. It's a pretty good Monday. All right, we're done for the day. All right, like I said, I'm done for the day. Cases went really well this morning, just some lab colis. Very simple cases from an anesthesia perspective. Our didactics also were very, very good today. One of our sessions actually talked about doing trauma resus as well as doing on the floor codes. This is something I'm stressing a little bit about because, like I said earlier, I am doing my first call shift this coming Saturday, and traumas and codes are gonna be one of my responsibilities. Again, I'll talk more about it later in the vlog, but for right now, I wanna get home so I can go pre-op my patients for tomorrow. So I'll catch you guys later. Hello, puppies. Who wouldn't wanna come home to 4 dogs? And an Eddie. Eddie's back, which means that Eddie's cooking is back, baby. Woohoo! Woohoo, Noya. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's another day. We got some ortho cases today. Let's get it. All right, I am out. Sun feels so good. All right, guys, like I said, I am done for the day. Pretty tough day. So I was actually in one single case this entire day, literally starting from like 7:20 up until now. It's just past 3 p.m. and the case is actually still going. My attending just let me go home. So in anesthesiology residency, you can have days where you have a lot of cases with pretty quick turnover where you feel like the moment you get the patient stabilized, the surgery team is already done and ready to close, and then all of a sudden you're landing the plane already. And that can repeat for the entire day, so you end up getting really good at practicing your inductions and your emergents. But there's other days where you have fewer cases and those cases can be very, very long. I feel like those are really good days for learning your intraop physiology. This was one of those intraop physiology days where the case was very long and I had to be very mindful of the patient's physiology throughout the case. Now, some patients can go through a very long case and be very stable, and you don't really have to do a whole lot besides continue to give some paralytic throughout the case. But there's other cases where, say, the risk of blood loss is high because it's just a bigger procedure, more open, a lot more vasculature in the area. And this was one of those cases where you really can't avoid getting a lot of blood loss. A lot of people think anesthesiology is just pressing the sedation button and waking the patient up later, but it's a lot more than that. In fact, anesthesiologists are really controlling the patient's physiology while they're undergoing surgery. And one of those things is blood pressure or volume status. So if the patient is losing a lot of volume on the surgical side, then on the anesthesiology side, we're giving it back. So in today's case, I was giving a lot of fluids, albumin, blood. It was a really, really good opportunity for me to learn a lot more about volume resuscitation while I had my attending physically with me. So for those of you guys who really are interested in human physiology, anesthesiology is a very, very good field to go into. But the patient's not the only one who needed fluids. I got so thirsty throughout the day because when you're sitting in the OR, you don't really get to consume a lot of fluids. And when I do consume fluids, they tend to be in the form of caffeine to help me get through the day. I would bring a big water bottle with me so that when I do have the chance, I can get some fluids in. I typically throw some Magna in my water bottle so that I can get some extra supplementation. In fact, once again, Magna is the sponsor of this week's vlog. You guys have seen Magna sponsor the channel before. Magna is a magnesium-based hydration drink, and I absolutely love them, especially on days like today. In general, magnesium is very important for our daily supplementation. It plays a role in over 600 biochemical reactions, everything from ATP production to neuromuscular function. And current studies suggest that up to 75% of people are actually magnesium deficient. Studies also suggest that magnesium supplementation helps with sleep, post-exercise recovery, and muscle cramping. Magna actually uses 3 different forms of magnesium, and these include malate, glycinate, and L-threonate. Each serving actually has 211 milligrams, which is like 3 times more than a lot of these other electrolyte supplements. They also have B6 and B12, and they're not overloaded with sodium and potassium, which is really nice. Those of you guys who have been following the channel for a while know that I started supplementing with Magna during my intern year of residency, and I'm still absolutely loving them. All their flavors are really good, and they've got a bunch of them, so you guys can really figure out which one's your favorite. This one's mint lemonade, an absolute staple, but they've got this iced tea lemonade that is absolutely fire. As far as the effects that I've personally felt from supplementing with Magna, I do feel like my sleep quality is better when I'm consistently supplementing with them. I fall asleep better and feel more refreshed when I wake up. I also exercise a lot and run a lot, as you guys know, and I do feel like it's really helping with my post-exercise recovery. I pretty much have these in my backpack at all times, so whenever I'm at work, I can just pour them into my bottle. Very, very, very convenient for the resident or student lifestyle. So if you guys are looking to supplement your recovery, I highly recommend you check out Magna. We've got a bunch of yummy flavors. I'm sure you guys are gonna love them. You can check them out by going to drinkmagna.com and using my coupon code Sean for 15% off of your first order. I'll have the link in the description box, but you can also scan the QR code here on the screen. Thank you so much again to Magna for sponsoring this week's vlog, and also for keeping me hydrated when I sit in the OR for like 8 hours. Morning guys, happy Wednesday. So I guess yesterday there was a tsunami alert or warning or advisory. Nothing ended up happening here in Southern California, but I haven't checked the news or anything, so hopefully people in other places are okay. But no tsunami here means we still got work today. Today I'm in a room that has pretty fast turnover cases, very different from yesterday, where today I'm probably going to be getting ready for the next case almost as soon as the previous case starts. One of the keys of being a good anesthesiologist is not delaying the OR. So I'm gonna do my best. All right, room is set up, case is going, quick breakfast break. I feel like my favorite part of the day is when everything is moving smoothly and I get to take a break and grab some food in the morning. But I do need to stop eating these breakfast burritos because even though they taste really good, I probably don't need all the calories. So I gotta be better about this diet. We're done, baby. Let's freaking go. I told you guys this morning that our room was gonna be quick turnover, and it was, but I was actually like super on top of it. Things were moving. I was ready for the next case like before the room was ready, which is huge. You never want to be the type of anesthesiologist that the room is waiting on. And it was even at the point where our surgical colleagues were like, guys, we're moving like too fast. Like I don't even have time to take a breather after the cases, which I don't think I've ever heard a surgery team say that things are going too quickly. It's never happened before. So great day overall. Tomorrow is my last day of one-to-one with my attending, which is very sad. I really like my attending. He's been a great mentor over the last 2 weeks. Starting Friday, I'll be supervised by different attendings pretty much every single day. And then Saturday is my first call, which I'll talk to you guys more about later. For now, I'm gonna go home, so I'll catch you guys later. Hey, Noya. Hello. Hey, Chip. Hey, puppies. I came home and Eddie's working on next week's video, but there's a new video that just went up this morning, right? Yeah. So make sure you go watch the Wednesday videos. This one's gonna be really cool too. I'm excited for you guys to see it. All right, so I'm working on my pre-opping for tomorrow's cases. So I figured I should show you guys what my rough template is for when I'm going through these pre-ops. So this is my rough simplified template right here. So the HPI is usually a one-liner, including their name, their age, their weight, as well as the reason that they're having surgery and what surgery they're having done. Then I do their past medical history, any allergies I should know about, any previous anesthesia history, any relevant labs or imaging. And then this is my overall anesthetic plan. So what position is the patient going to be in during surgery? What access do I want? Do I want another peripheral IV? Do I want large bore ones? Do I want an arterial line? What monitors do I want? What I want to do for induction, for example, lidocaine, fentanyl, propofol, rocuronium. What kind of airway do I want? Do I want an ET tube or do I want a LMA? Then you look at maintenance, so things like sevoflurane, our gases, and then emergence, how are we going to get them out of the anesthesia? This template gives me all my check boxes while I'm going through the patient's charts. So yeah, I thought you guys might find that interesting. Anyway, I'm going to finish pre-opping. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Morning guys, happy Thursday. So today's my last day of one-to-one with my attending, which is very, very sad. I also realized that yesterday was my last day getting out at 3 o'clock because even though today is technically the last 3 o'clock day, we have an ACLS training until 6 p.m. today afterwards. So my day actually ends quite late because I still have to go home and pre-op after that. Busy, busy day, and the real work starts tomorrow. Let's have a good day. All right, guys, I am done for the day, at least in the OR. It was a pretty good day. Like I said earlier, it was my last day of one-to-one with my attending, which really sucks. I really like my attending. It's been a good 2 weeks, really good vibes. He is like the kind of cool, calm, and collected anesthesiologist I aspire to be, and just an overall great guy. I really enjoyed getting to work with and learn from him. Starting tomorrow, the CA1s are going to be supervised by attending. So rather than being one-to-one, it might be like 2 residents to 1 attending. The attendings will typically come in for induction and emergence, as well as key points in the case. Or if it's a complex case or patient, then they'll probably be in the OR for much more time, but it'll be just a little bit more hands-off, which over the last few days, our attendings have been titrating off of the hand-holding, you know, while we're in the case. So for example, a lot of today was really just me in the OR, except for, again, induction, emergence, and if the attending would just come in and just check on how things were going. But the cases today were pretty good CA1 level cases where the pathology of the patients wasn't too complex. The case wasn't too involved where we would expect any sort of anesthetic complications. So it was a good last day of cases to make me feel confident in what I believe are the basics of what I should be doing at this point in my training. Anyway, my day is not done because I have to go over to the medical campus for ACLS training, which is pretty cheeks because it's already almost 3 o'clock. And I think that goes until 6. And today's actually Eddie's birthday, and I feel really bad that I have to spend the whole day at work. I'd rather be at home celebrating my best friend's birthday. And yeah, that really sucks. But hopefully I can get home with enough time to pre-op for tomorrow's patients and still have time to hang out with him, maybe go grab some dinner or something. That being said, I'm gonna start driving over to the medical campus, so I'll catch you guys later. It's like we did like 1A line. Yeah. And it was like under the drapes. Oh shit. This is Lalo. Hey, what's up? We are going to ACLS now, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, we're done with our art training, which is basically UCSD's version of ACLS. Very long, very didactic-y, but it was good since I'll be on call this weekend, so gotta be ready for all that. During that, we got our schedule, so I decided to just stay here on campus, get some sun, and chart review for my case tomorrow. Looks like it's gonna be a long plastics case, which should be interesting. I, at one point, almost thought I was gonna go into plastics, so it'll be cool to see some plastic and reconstructive surgery tomorrow. I chart reviewed for it and called my attending just because I knew that if I drove home and then chart reviewed, it was just gonna be harder with the dogs and me just getting tired and wanting to socialize. So I thought if I just stayed here on campus, I would be more locked in, and plus it kind of felt nice to just sit outside. With that said though, I'm done for the day officially, so I'm gonna head home, meet up with Eddie, and we'll go grab some dinner to celebrate his birthday. So even after a long, busy day, you still need to make time for your friends and loved ones. Like, even though I'm tired, we still gotta celebrate. Happy birthday! Woohoo! Woohoo! It's your birthday and you're gonna dance. They're all pretty much the same dog. Yeah. They just act the exact same. Except for Chippy. Doesn't really know what's going on most of the time. I told Eddie I would get him dinner for his birthday. You guys will never believe the place he chose. In-N-Out baby. Teriyaki baby. Morning guys, happy Friday. Fortunately though, it is not actually my Friday because tomorrow I have my 24-hour in-house call shift. So I'll get off Sunday morning. I'll talk more about it later, but for now, let's have a good day. All right, so it's lunchtime and the plastic surgeon running the case for the room I'm in ordered food for the whole room, which was very, very nice of them. All right, we're done for the day. So today was not bad. It was pretty long, I'm not gonna lie. I was in a very long plastics and reconstructive surgery case, and the case has actually been going since the morning, and it's currently still going, and it's about 4 p.m. if that gives you guys any idea of how long some of these reconstructive cases can be. Overall, for my first day not being one-to-one with an attending, I think it went okay. I was still supervised, of course. It's just that we're not one-to-one. My attending was overseeing 2 rooms. So I had a bit more autonomy. My attending basically expected me to do everything, and as soon as the induction of the anesthesia was complete, you know, he would leave, and it was my job to make sure that everything else was teed up, which all went pretty well, I would say. In fact, it was quite a stable case from an anesthetic side, and that was fine. I think just throughout the day, I felt just more nervous and like on edge about forgetting to do things since, you know, the safety net is getting a little bit looser and looser, right? And that's the purpose. That's the whole point. They want us to get, you know, autonomous. I definitely feel like the last few weeks prepared me for this, but at the end of the day, like, you can't see and experience everything in just 4 weeks. And that was definitely the case today. There were things I had to do today that I hadn't really done before. And so I had to, you know, text my attending for help and guidance. And that's just part of the training. That's part of anesthesiology residency. Something that's different about anesthesiology versus some other medical specialties is that you're a little bit more on your own. So for example, when I was like on medicine during intern year and I had a question about something, I could just ask a bunch of my co-residents who were around me if they had ever had to do it before, you know, whether it was an order or some sort of algorithm or something. There was someone around. Here, as an anesthesiology resident, you're much more on your own. It's not like I have any co-residents in the OR with me. I don't have a senior that I'm working with, right? So I pretty much have to escalate any questions I have straight to my attending. My week is not done because tomorrow I have my first 24-hour in-house call shift, which is going to start at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning and end at 7 a.m. Sunday morning. I remember growing up and thinking about being on call and doing these long in-house shifts, and like, oh, it'd be so cool to be a doctor doing a 24-hour call. Guys, it's a lot less cool when you actually have to do it. I'm kind of dreading it a little bit. Not because like I don't want to do it. Like obviously I chose this life, I chose this path, I chose this career. It's just nerves. You get nervous when you are doing something new for the first time. So I'm nervous. My understanding of this call shift is that, again, I'll go in tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. and if there are any cases going on in the main OR, then me and my co-resident that I'm with will be responsible for those cases. And then if those cases get done and there's no other cases going on, then we are truly on call, where if there's any like add-on cases that need to happen, then we'll go and do the anesthesia for those cases. If a trauma comes in, we'll go to the trauma bay and handle all of the things related to the airway and getting the patient induced in case, you know, they need to do some sort of surgery. We're also responsible for any cardiac arrests or code blues that happen in the hospital. So I will have a pager, like a code pager. So if there is a code blue anywhere in the hospital, it will go off and we have to run straight to it. We are the team that's responsible for securing the airway in the event of a code blue. That's pretty scary and kind of nerve-wracking, but also exciting, right? Like this is the position I wanted to be in. So we're freaking doing it, baby. And this is my understanding of my responsibilities during these call shifts. I'm not gonna vlog tomorrow because one, I just need to be focused. I need to be locked in during this call, right? Like I've never done it before. I just need to have my head in the right place, which is patient care. Two, I need time to edit this vlog tonight because I'm not gonna have time to edit and upload it tomorrow night because I'll be at the hospital. And if I can't get it done tonight, I don't know if I'll have time to get it up before it's supposed to go live Sunday morning, since I'll basically be getting off my call shift an hour before this vlog goes live. So if you're watching this, please wish me luck in the comment section below. Anyway, I'm gonna go head home, get to work on editing this vlog, go out for dinner with Eddie again to celebrate his birthday a little bit more, and just try to overall get some rest. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in another week in residency, and I will see you guys next week.